Marshelle.
Hi, Bridget. This episode,
We're going to talk about
what are the things that are going on in our lives?
it's kind of like maybe this might be like,
Yeah, sorta, kinda.
life lesson.
hi.
That was some solid clapping.
It was. I was like, oh, I forgot about the clapping.
I have it in me. I don't know if it's the shape of my hands or just how massive they are. And I don't say that as a bad thing. I'm just saying I can
It's
clap.
a good thing, I think.
Yeah. I mean, they're still feminine. It's just they are not the smallest hands ever.
Mine are tiny.
I've noticed. It's comical.
But hello.
Hi,
I'm Marshelle,
I'm Bridget.
and this is Yeah, Sorta, Kinda.
Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back indeed. Cheers
Maybe
to
I
you.
should turn off my phone since I'm getting a random phone call from Shoreline, Washington.
Ooh,
Whatever, Shoreline.
as I try not to slurp over the mic. I didn't
Oh,
plan
I'm
that
all
out.
about this. The mic
I didn't
slurping.
plan that out. So, hello, guys. How are you? How are you, Bridget?
I'm good.
Yeah?
You know what's in my brain, which I keep saying, don't talk about, because when
What?
this goes out on Wednesday, everything's already going to have changed anyway. But it's the COVID-19 virus, the coronavirus.
Oh, Corona. I'm like, what the hell's COVID? Is that a new one? Corona.
It's the same one, but it's it's like another name, probably the more official name for it. But it's just kind of crazy how many people have been infected by this, and there's a lot of people dying, and there's just a lot of fear surrounding
Fear.
this. And some people are kind of like, hey, this is ridiculous to be afraid of it because the flu kills
Yeah.
such and such amount of people. And then there's other people that are like, it's going to get worse before it gets better. So prepare yourself.
Yeah, and it's true that, and I've seen those stats where people say, every election year there's some big virus that comes out, which maybe not. I don't know about this. But secondly, and then there was another post I saw where they're like, how many people died from the coronavirus? Well, how many people died of cancer every year? How many people died of leukemia every year?
But cancer isn't contagious.
I was going to say, that's a totally different subject.
Yeah.
I don't think you can put that in the same. I just realized I was away from my mic. I don't think you can. Hello, everybody.
Hello. Welcome. Join us, Marshelle.
Hi.
It's apples and oranges for one. And
Yeah.
secondly, this doesn't have, what's the word for when we can heal something? We don't have a vaccine for it yet.
Oh, that's the word. Yeah.
We don't entirely know how some of the people that are infected got infected, but they can tell based on the strain that it is that they can like trace it back to, okay, in Washington State, this teenager who got infected was infected when like by the same strain that the guy that came in from China on this date was. Like they can figure out a lot of that stuff because the virus, it will evolve. So it's kind of a moving target, but anyway,
What I would say is it's real. Don't
Yeah.
don't buy into the fear mongering, but wash your hands.
Right. Do what you can.
Kirsten Bell. She posted this thing about showing with that soap, showing what your hands look like under the
black light.
Yeah, black light. Thank you. That's the word. With soap and without soap for like 5 seconds, 15 seconds, and then 30 seconds.
Right.
30
How
seconds.
effective it is at cleaning those germs off.
Exactly. Thank you for clarifying. At 30 seconds with soap, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing on your hands. So wash your hands.
It's way more effective than hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Hand sanitizer is what you use in a pinch.
Yeah.
Washing your hands with soap and water, warm, hot water is always best.
Yeah. If you're out and about,
And
definitely
don't
do
touch
that.
your face.
Ooh.
You know? But my point is just be informed. Try to
Yeah.
educate yourself what's going on. Don't panic.
Yeah.
But be aware how this has affected some of the other countries, like Wuhan, China, got totally shut down. There's an area of New York that's they're shutting themselves down. They're like I almost said in detox because we're kind of
still
detoxing.
doing the whole 30, yeah.
And I had to restart it because my mom is here now and we're doing it together. And so I took her out for a birthday dinner. And anyway,
They had
but I
Thai
didn't mean
food.
not detox. What is it like when you're hunkering down? It doesn't matter.
They're hunkering down.
They're hunkering down.
Sequestered.
Sure, that's a great word.
That'll work.
Alexa, what does sequestered mean?
Sequestered is a form of the word sequester. As a verb, sequester is usually defined as to remove or withdraw into solitude or
That was clear.
retirement.
Thanks for clarifying that.
As a noun,
Alexa, stop.
sequester-
Did you feel like she was going to leave it at that?
Yeah, no, she
That's
just kept going.
That's what I thought she was just going to leave it at that, which I thought was really funny because I'm like, that doesn't answer my
No,
question
it
at all.
doesn't. Alexa, what does sequester mean?
As a noun, question is usually defined as a
Alexa,
sentence-
stop. She's getting demoted.
When you're great, you're so great, but when you're bad, you're so bad.
So anyway,
But my mom is here. I took her out to dinner. We did Thai food. And I have an Alexa in my house. Shh, shh. And I have some lights like scheduled too, but also like organized in such a way that you give them commands through the Alexa. And it's just been really fun teaching my mom how to live in my smart home.
I bet at your smart home,
My smart home. My smart home.
which sounds really smart anyway. All right, my dear. What are you thinking?
What do we want to do? Where do we
know.
want to go?
Well,
What's our rabbit hole tonight?
Yes, it's going to be a rabbit hole. Buckle up. I don't know.
That may not be true, actually.
That may not. You might be like, what the hell are these guys doing? I did want to address, because we were talking about, what is it? Now my mind went blank. What is karma versus you reap what you sow?
Well, okay, before you go into that, I just want to clarify what we had said had to do with what the average person seems to speak on it as.
I agree.
And you're saying, I since went through and looked at the more of an official explanation of it.
Yeah. Well, because we were saying we think it gets misused,
Yeah.
and that the original intention of that word has been kind of forgotten.
Yeah.
With some people.
And they make it seem more like it's an actual revenge thing.
Yeah. Like
I don't know.
no, ew.
But it has more to do with reincarnation.
It does. Yeah. I almost said Kiva. Whole 30, man.
Wait,
right there.
Kiva?
Kiva was my dog, and it's also a holy Pueblo underground.
Got it. What word were you trying to think of?
I was trying to say karma.
Sorry.
It's going to be one of those nights. It's going to be a bumpy night, guys.
Was a cackle.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, great.
So karma deals with reincarnation. So like what you do in this life, you are going to pay for in the next life. Mm-hmm. Now,
Or get rewarded for.
Or get rewarded for. This is
Yeah.
true. That's the positive spin on that. I like the negative. And then
It's just trying to represent both sides.
there you go. I'm kidding. Reap what you sow is a little more heavy, because like to me that feels like inside, like that feels like heavy. And they were saying it's you reap what you sow is you get the repercussions of what you do in this life. So it is a little.
It's also an analogy for planting seeds.
Yes.
So you would make your holes in the ground or whatnot, and you would throw your seeds in, and then you would sow them, and then you would reap them later
yes.
with a reaper.
Thank you, Bridget.
Yeah, in case anyone didn't have the visual of someone toiling away in the field.
Could be with a scythe, like back in the old days.
Well, now all I can think of is the Grim Reaper.
I was about to say, but that makes me think of the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
Which,
Which makes it seem even heavier
Yeah, a
when you
little
say,
more,
you reap what you sow.
Yeah. So, yeah, to me, I guess that means be the best you can be. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Or don't you want to be? I mean,
Well, and we talked about how it was a surprise to us, like
Yeah.
that a lot of people don't say. I mean, I've met people that are like straight up, it's a dog eat dog world.
Yeah.
And you got to fight for what's yours. And I'm just like, wow, I had to learn to move through the world differently when I started to meet more people like that.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, I'm really vulnerable to that. To that type of person. I could easily become victimized because I'm so trusting. So I kind of had to, put on my armor.
well, that's very accurate. There's also that if you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Yeah.
So there you go, people. It's a dog eat dog world. Well, that shows you how you look at life.
Yeah.
Right?
I dated a guy who told me that, and I was just like,
Really?
yeah, he ended up in jail.
To say, I bet he was a barrel of fun.
I wish him well.
But that makes me think about gut instincts and intuition.
Yeah.
And is that the same thing? Because I think it is.
I don't know if it matters to me what people call it, if they're pointing to the same thing, but I think some people use it interchangeably.
Or it's easier for them to say gut instinct.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That feels more grounded as opposed to saying intuition.
I suppose you're right. That might just be like a comfort level, because gut instinct sounds really more of a physical thing, right? It happens in your gut. It's like a feeling you get in your stomach.
I would say that we experience both.
Absolutely.
Because I think feeling has that's how I learned to maneuver through the world. If I really feel something and I can't deny that, because I can lie to myself like a son of a bitch. I mean, we've talked about that. I used to. I don't anymore. Now I
was gonna have to argue with you on that. I was like, I don't really think of you as somebody who lies to yourself
no,
at all.
No, I don't. I mean, I guess to expand on that.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, it's fine. You know what I mean? Like this person, she's not a bitch. She's not being mean. She doesn't mean. Yeah. She just ran over your dog, deliberately, on purpose, and looked you in the eye. She is a bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just an example. Or
that's kind of like almost like making excuses for somebody. Well, or trying to find the best in someone.
Yeah, and I think that's a little dangerous. That can be very deceptive to yourself.
If they're not looking for the best in themselves, we have no business doing it for them.
Ooh, I like that.
Just came to me. I have these moments, but it's true, and it ties in with like if somebody is not committed to their own growth, you have no business giving them advice. It's exhausting. It's a waste of time.
And they're not going to hear you anyway on the level that you're coming from and where you mean that. They're going to either get defensive, or you know what I really hate? Although I'm sure there's some merit to it, but I find myself really being annoyed by that expression or that phrase that everybody's really jumping on the bandwagon with. If what you dislike in someone else is really what you're doing. You know what I mean?
I've seen, I think so. I think I've seen variations
I'm
of
just
that.
kind of paraphrasing
where
that.
It's like, if it triggers you, then that's something you need to look at in yourself, that kind of thing. Or is it more specifically, if you don't like it in someone else, it's something you don't like in you?
Yeah. Like if you think that person is, what would it say?
Well, look, I've seen some things about people being mirrors to us and helping usher in lessons.
I believe that.
I can see that. I think a lot of that is perspective shifts anyway,
for sure.
which is something we've talked about. But I don't know. That doesn't really hit me one way or the other. Sometimes I read things on those like inspirational Instagram posts and I'm just like, this is dumb. Like, but if it helps someone, great. If it helps you. But I secretly think it's really dumb.
Or I can't help it. Oh, you misspelled that word.
Right?
That's what I do sometimes. I can't help it.
Well, if you had used proper grammar, it might have a little bit more impact. A little bit more.
I think
we sound like assholes. We're not assholes.
Totally do sound like
We're
assholes.
not assholes.
Like, what is it? Would it be self-indulgent, self-righteous?
Us?
Yeah, but we aren't. I don't think we sound like that.
No.
I don't think we sound like we
I
think
think
we
it's
have all the
very
answers.
relatable for most people who are on Instagram that they scroll through and they're like, oh my God, what's this shit?
Exactly.
You know? I think that's relatable.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Yeah, as you're like flipping through. Oh yeah, or when you see a certain a person posted that type of a thing, like really, you're gonna say that? Have you looked in the mirror?
Okay, now you sound judgmental.
Okay, maybe I had a moment of it. Oh, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. When you really know someone, and then they're like saying, and that's okay if you're going to say it. But I mean, but at the same time, don't act like you're fucking.
Maybe they're aspiring to be that.
Okay, that I like.
Yeah.
That
and so we can be like, oh, I hope so, honey.
I can get down
I
with
hope
that.
so.
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
You're trying.
I like that.
We're not assholes. We're not.
No, we're not. We're not.
We're mostly kidding.
We
mostly
are.
Kidding.
There's a lot of sarcasm, I guess you would say.
Oh yeah, we can be real feisty.
Yeah, there's like a total, and we don't take ourselves too seriously.
This is episode 9. We're getting comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
We've spent a lot of time tiptoeing around things, and I think we're starting to get more comfortable.
Yeah, and there's still a few things to tiptoe around, but predominantly,
Yeah.
I feel like, all right, if you're this far in, hey, how's it going?
Hi.
You kind of get it. You're maybe our kind of people.
Yeah,
That's what
some
we're
of
looking
you
for.
actually listen to and watch every episode.
And I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
More than once, even. That's like impressive.
Oh,
I'm so touched by
Wait,
that.
people are watching us more than once?
Yeah, or listening more than once. I've gotten a couple messages like that.
That's
Ian C. Roper, I'll call you out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Ian,
thank you.
Thank you. We should call out Ian. Ian has
should.
been hands down the most interactive person.
So
Followed
sweet.
closely by Matt Tucker.
Yeah, Matt Tucker, hello.
He's been
How are you?
He's been a definite like Twitter companion. He usually posts on Wednesday when we launch an episode far before we get to it.
Yeah.
I'm always like, oh shit, I should probably do that. Matt just tweeted our link.
Matt beat us to it.
So we should,
That's okay.
we should
That's
probably
good.
get on that.
That's totally good, though.
There are so many steps to what we do.
So
like
much so-
it's a
lot of work.
It's a lot of work. This is like a part-time job.
It really is, but I love it.
Oh, I do.
And I wouldn't change it for the world. I will look forward
I
to
think
the
of a few
Minions.
things I'd change.
Well, I'd like to change
I'd
some
like
Minions.
more. I'd like to have more people be listening.
I would love that.
Yeah, that's really
yeah.
the main thing I want.
Yeah.
I'd love to have sponsorship.
Yeah.
You
Hello,
know,
anybody?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be great.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we will get
We'll
there.
get there.
World domination
Yeah.
starts now. And we're humble about it too. Yeah. Excellent. I can't get my hands up high enough, so I'm just going to.
And we can't tell you why. Because we're not sure.
It's the mic.
Oh, it's the mic.
My mic. That's my
She's like,
I
excellent.
know. I can't. It takes the effect. If you were visually watching right now on Facebook.
And you know what?
or
When I go
Facebook,
watch this
YouTube.
later, I'm going to be like, Bridget, stop doing that. You're making that face again.
It's so humbling. And we're going to have a side note here, guys, of when you go back and you watch yourself, you're like, wow.
Like, remember that time when I was trying to kill that bug,
bug.
and I was making the double chin happen? Can we cut that?
Or look at that. That sweater looked better in person, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
By the way, we left that in, the slapping of the bugs.
We
and,
did.
And we have some old footage of us in outfits that will never see the light of day again.
Never.
Because they
Never.
looked so terrible on camera.
It's so weird about that, you guys. Let's just have like a girl moment here, shall we?
Yeah.
Or people moment, I suppose. Something looks so good on.
Yeah.
And then somebody takes a photo of you and you're like feeling like, yeah, I look good. And then you go back and you see it and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know how many times I had to be like, do I look like this? Do I look like this? Am I that? Is that what that happens? Is that what happens to my thighs? You know,
I feel like I've already said this, but there was one time when my mom was like, "Oh, yeah, you do look bigger on camera than I was thinking." I think I already told you about that.
Oh, you gotta love it. You
But
gotta
I'm like,
love it, man.
But I'm like, it's true. The camera adds. It's not just camera. We're well lit too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all. By the way, speaking of, I can see that I'm not supposed to have this light on my face, and I'm sorry. I'm having a moment.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Bring it back.
Let
Bring
it
it
go.
back. Bridget. It's gonna be fine. You're gonna look pretty.
It's gonna be fine. Let it go. Copyright infringement? I hope not.
I know. We'll just change the melody of that. What was I going to say?
Who knows?
I had something to say there.
Was it about karma?
No.
Was
Totally
it
wouldn't.
about
looking?
looks and sweaters and
you know what? I want to finish this. I was shooting the show, and you're going to call me out on it, so I'll just say it. DTLA. I lost a lot of weight, pretty fast. A lot of weight, which whatever. I'm sorry, but I'm an actor.
talk about the details of that later. How you did that? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I will. I'll do.
Okay.
But I like doing the whole 30 better. but
No,
you gotta
I'm
exercise
actually
with it.
kidding.
I know.
I,
But I did, man. I lost. I mean, it was a incessant look, obsessive. That's a better word. Look at calories. I mean,
yeah, okay.
completely.
I can't do that.
It wasn't good. But I lost a lot of weight, and I was going to lunch with somebody I was writing a script with, my friend, and he was like, your eyes are looking a little big, and I was like, he's like, you're looking really thin, and I was like, really? And I was like so excited about it. That's how fucked up it was. And he was like, I didn't mean that the way you're taking it. He was like, I mean, you need to eat a burger. He's like, that's what I'm trying to say to you.
Oh,
He's
man.
like, stop losing weight. And I remember when I shot the show, even the director was like, you need to stop losing weight. You're starting to look like a bobblehead. But you would look at the camera, you would see the footage, and I didn't look too thin. If anything, I thought I was like, you know what I mean? Like your hips or like whatever.
It's a combo of
it's tough.
The camera adds 10 pounds and body dysmorphia.
Yeah, I do have a little bit of that.
Well, it's something that you can grow out of or grow into. I mean, I used to have it big time.
In spades.
Yeah.
No, I just like that word. She didn't have it in spades.
No, I did. I had a straight up eating disorder. It was a problem, but it was a trip.
Like, I wouldn't think that about you now. Not that that's not, but you're such a strong, you come across, and I've always got that off of you. You were a little intimidating when I first met you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me about how intimidating I was. No, I'm kidding.
But I just never would have thought that.
I have lived a lot of life. I think here's how I will connect the dots for you, because you know me really well as someone who at a period of time in my life that I'm coming out of was things were very structured for me. I needed them to be. And it was kind of like a coping mechanism. And you guys might not fully understand what I mean when I say that, because it's not something I've ever really talked too much about. But if you think back to things I've talked about, childhood, having like a strict home environment, for me, in addition to the misperceptions I had about my body, and some of them weren't entirely inaccurate. Like I did have a chubby face. I had such a lack of control, it felt like, and my life felt so determined for me, and there wasn't a lot of freedom to explore. It felt like that controlling when I did or did not eat felt like something that was mine. And I can look back and see how that was very true. But you think of it, it's an illness, and it's not indicative of someone's strength.
Yeah.
If they have that.
Oh, no, yeah.
But it's...
I take that back.
No, but I think it brings up such an interesting conversation because... well, and I know where you were coming at when you were saying it, coming from when you were saying that. You were saying you just seem, I don't know, compliment. And I'm like, yes, so true. I don't remember exactly what it was. So if you need to repeat it, I totally understand. Kidding.
I just wouldn't think, because you seem very together. Do you know? And not that isn't, no, I'm good. Because if someone, I think, has a eating disorder, there's clearly something mentally that is bothering them, or they don't feel, like you said, you felt like you didn't have any control.
Well, when you met me, I wasn't like in the throes of it anymore.
No, you were in a really good place to where you would let it go. Like you,
for the most part.
Yeah.
I know now that the number on the scale can be a major trigger.
Yeah,
like for you, it's calories, right?
Yeah.
That's a thing you have to.
Well, the scale too, though.
Yeah.
I cannot look at the scale anymore. I just don't. I go by how I fit in my clothes.
Right. That's what I'm doing now.
Yeah. I think it's healthier.
Yeah. I think it's more relevant. The number on the scale goes up and down a lot, especially for women.
Day by day.
And depending on the time of the month. I mean, it's all very...
Or did you eat pizza?
Right. Are you retaining a little water that day? I think also I learned to stop focusing on flaws and start to really try and focus on things about myself that I liked, including non-physical aspects, but also physical aspects. There's no shame in liking your hair or eyes or
your smile
or really, like, I've heard a lot of post-pregnant women talk about their post-pregnancy bodies. Sorry, I keep popping the mic, but they talk about how these scars, these stretch marks, or that line that develops down the stomach or whatever, it's a reminder that they grew a baby and how amazing that is. Now, I've never had a child, but even though I haven't, I can be super appreciative of those like discoveries about how amazing the body can be.
Yeah.
It's not all about the way it looks.
No, it's really not. And in this world of Instagram, and I mean, which I love Instagram, but there's such a falseness to it. Is that the right way to put that? It's not authentic. People don't really look like that. It's always filters. Or even these influencers that buy their followers. I'm sorry. Let's get real. But like they fix their body. They like make these.
Yeah, they Facetune it.
Yeah, they Facetune. They make these waists and like whatever. And that's not what they look like. And you know, if that makes you feel better, I guess okay. But at the same time, you're misrepresenting yourself, and your young girls are looking at this.
Yeah.
You know, or even older people. Like we look at it, I'm like, God, as an actor, I'm like, I don't look like that. Like I watch some of these people that have like the filler, they do a lot of filler, or they do like the voluma. I don't know what that's called. Like,
I don't know.
but it's like for your
anything about
cheeks,
it.
like if you're thin and you want your cheeks, like, and I'm like, because I'm trying to age gracefully without doing too much. You know, I just want to look like myself.
Yeah.
I'm going to, you know, I want things to be lifted. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I don't want anything to be sagging. That's just pretty much my bottom line with that. But I see this and I'm like, God, or I watch TV and I'm like, I don't have these perfectly smooth forehead.
It's not just women either.
No, men do it too.
Totally. Not just that men do it, but men are dealing with these same insecurities and
Absolutely.
dealing with eating disorders and dealing with, you know,
Or your
losing
age.
their hair.
Yeah.
the
My
one-
son worries about losing his hair.
Yeah, I think
And he's young.
most men in their 20s, if they're going to lose some, they're going to start losing it in their 20s. And
Yeah. And that doesn't reflect anything on them. I think that's hard for people. It is hard. Like, so
well,
you
you know
want to
what?
go
Maybe
like,
it
go
levels
within.
the playing field a little bit, because I've also seen a lot of older men who expect to only be dating women that are 20 years younger than them. And so if they're bald, it's like, well, maybe you should date someone your own
Yeah,
age. Maybe there's
maybe.
a reason why.
You could think about
I
that.
hope I don't sound like an asshole again, but I
don't care.
I just think that
I like it.
if an older man is consistently only trying to date women that are significantly younger than them,
Hello.
like that's a little weird to me.
Issue.
And if they're
I mean, only doing
Right.
that. You can have a real connection with someone who can be, age doesn't matter at all.
yeah.
You know, I have a friend I'm thinking of who they listen to this podcast, and his girlfriend, and well, both of them are my friends, that she's a lot younger, but those two, they just seem like such a soul match. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like there's something about them you just adore.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking about you guys, but like other people though, you do see that in the dating field. The men especially will only date, you know, someone in their 20s.
I want to clarify though, because I did sound like an asshole. I don't think it matters. Age doesn't matter. I just think that there's some guys who only will date younger women as a thing,
I know
like
what
as
you're
almost like
talking
a fetish or something,
yeah,
or
yeah.
they say it's because, oh, well, childbearing age. Like, come on.
I'm sorry.
Like, well, I want to have kids.
Really?
So it needs to be a young woman so
Really?
she can have the kids.
Really?
So when I say that balding evens the playing field a little bit, that's kind of what I'm referencing. It's like
She's talking about assholes, okay?
like
Shallow
you're a dick
assholes.
and you lost your hair.
I'll fucking say it, yeah.
Karma's a bitch. But as we discussed, it's not. You reap what you sow.
High five to that one. That was good. And scene.
How far are we?
I didn't
29 minutes.
turn it on at the right.
We don't need it. It's 30 minutes.
Okay, good. Let me see. I'm just gonna go into how do we feel about law of attraction? Do you want to talk about that or no? Doesn't feel
Not
like
really.
it.
We're having so much fun.
I know. So next time, if we don't cut,
We're going to cut this. We're going to cut her laughing.
we're gonna cut that out.
You have no idea what just happened.
No, you
Because
don't.
we were laughing and then we cut and then we're laughing again. But now I'm saying, well, I just revealed our
But
secrets,
that's-
Marshall. I just
that's-
revealed our secrets.
That's all right. That's all right. It's quite okay. We're pretty good about cutting. Yeah, I thought so too. I'm totally fucking with her because like we've totally spaced, and I was like,
I just don't know where I want to go next. This is weird for me. Pink.
color is weird for me.
Yeah. You're wearing a vibrant shirt with pattern. I'm wearing pink, which is so girly.
I wear black. I mean, like
Yeah.
my whole, but it washes me out on camera. Does it
Yeah.
wash me out in person?
I don't think so.
Because I wear a lot of black. If it does, you need to tell me. But I'm actually digging the color. It's kind of
I'm
nice.
a fan of this top.
And I love this top. Just want to pet it. It's so soft.
Very soft. It's got fun sleeves.
Doesn't it? Look, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't see it there. Maybe you can. Sort of my ode to like what I'm kind of a 70s throwback in a lot of ways. Bohemian sort of.
I don't know what my style is. It's just
You're a little
little comfort a little bit. Sometimes it'll be more feminine than others, but then sometimes I'll look like a boy. Like I just don't.
I got a little bit of that. You used to call me well, my friend Drew. Hi, Drew.
Hi, Drew.
We want to have you on one of these days.
Yes.
Conversation. That would be a fun one.
Yeah.
that'd be.
Well, Drew's so funny, like so naturally funny. Like you
Hilarious.
could just hand her a mic and just sit back and watch.
Yeah, we could just watch and just eat popcorn and let Drew go. It'd be the easiest episode ever.
I imagine she has a lot of stories.
Oh my God, does she?
Yeah.
And she's really good at navigating through
Yeah.
and omitting what shouldn't be heard. Like it blows my mind.
Like she's really naturally hilarious.
She's hilarious. I'm gonna have to tell her that we're talking about her so she'll listen.
I was assuming she already would
I
listen
hope
and
so.
she would just stumble across this shout out.
She probably is. She's very supportive. That's what I love about Drew. Loyal. She would punch somebody in the face. This is how I feel about friendship. Like you, Drew, I have a couple of lifers. Drew calls them lifers. Like you guys could kill the Pope.
Oh God.
And I might be like, okay,
That was dumb.
that was not
Why'd
the
you
best
do
decision.
that?
Why did you do that? What? But I'll hide you. You know what I mean? So the
Like,
cops
all right,
can't find
let's
you.
deal with this.
All right, so what are we gonna do? And I'll get you some food. I'll put you in my shelter. It'll be fine. It's okay. But like that's when I let someone in. That's how it is to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm
And you
still
guys are there for me.
distracted by you listing off your friends. And I was like, the two of us.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I've got Marshelle.
Well, Victoria, we love Victoria.
I love Victoria.
Victoria's in Sweden, though.
But
so we
would
never get to see
Victoria hide me if I killed the Pope?
her. She might. Actually, I think she would.
Yeah, I think she would.
I think Victoria would. I think Victoria would.
I think you would.
I know you would.
Yeah, thank you. Also,
She would yell at you too, like, don't.
you know
be
what?
quiet.
We could literally get flagged on YouTube for talking about this, even though we're joking. Did you know that? That's
About
how
what?
killing.
Oh, I'm not. I don't
That's
mean it.
how
I don't mean it.
sensitive. That's how sensitive they're like.
Oh dear.
They're
She could. You could.
censoring
You
us.
could rob a store. Can we talk about that?
probably not.
And
Probably
I would
not.
hide you. How's that?
Probably not.
You could. I
How
can't even
about this? How about this?
talk-
So, if the coronavirus hits, would you protect me? That's
I wouldn't
bad.
touch
This
you.
is stupid.
I wouldn't touch
This
you.
is dumb.
You know
I
what? We're
didn't.
going to leave it, and they're going to be okay with it.
I don't say I had it.
I know. I won't touch you if you get it, though. But I will protect you.
But would you protect me?
I would put soup through
this
your mail slot.
Zombie apocalypse hit.
Yes, I would actually. I'm all about
Dude,
that.
I mean, you'd want me on your side.
You would want me
Dude,
on your
I'm
side.
so resourceful.
I know. Yeah, you're like MacGyver. She's MacGyver.
I know a lot of you don't know who MacGyver is,
Oh.
but I will never stop referencing
No,
it.
they had a recent show a few years ago. I don't think it did well. So younger kids could know it.
I'm not just talking about younger kids. I often use a reference of I'm like MacGyver
Mm-hmm.
and blank faces stare back at me. I'm like, you don't know what I'm talking about. Have you seen Simpsons? You know the twin sisters of Marge? They
Mm-hmm.
loved MacGyver. Does that help? And they're like, oh, that kind of rings a bell. But they don't have context for
Well,
it.
basically, she could take like a paper clip, a light bulb, and lint from the car, and she could
Start a fire.
She could
Bonfire.
I mean, like for real. Like this girl. And I'm good with guns.
You know, the first time I ever shot a gun, I hit my target. It was a rifle. It was just out in the woods. It was very safe. It was all legal. It was just for sport. I shot a target. It was a can. It was nothing living.
I grew up in Oklahoma and Texas. Yeah, I always shot targets, cans, and things like that. I don't like shooting animals. I'm not into that. But I also like BB guns, and I have a target, and I keep saying we need to practice.
I would love that.
I like to be prepared for the zombie apocalypse.
You know what I wanna do?
honestly, what?
Axe throwing.
I want to do that too. You've
Let's
talked
do
about
axe
that.
throwing.
I really do want to do that.
I feel like
I'm a little afraid of it, I think, when it would happen, but because I'm a
think
klutz.
we're the people that it would bounce back and we'd have to like, whoa.
Exactly. That's
you
what I'm
know?
afraid of. And knives. I love knives.
Never
Love
tried
those.
throwing knives.
It'd be pretty fun. So that just went dark. But
No, weapons training is also
Weapons
really
training,
handy as an actor.
Yeah, it is. Well, I did sword fighting, and I did do gun training, and I did grow up on a farm, so riding horses and guns and all that. But I
Yeah.
did take official gun training for this movie I was doing.
So
But sword fighting, because
What
I always
would-
wanted to be
yeah.
a sword fighter. Like that's so fun.
what would be your weapon of choice in an apocalypse, Marshelle?
I'd be good with a sword and a gun.
You're like, give me both.
Yeah, that's what I would want.
Like
Tom-
Marshawn in the Walking Dead.
I actually would. I really would. Tommy's really good with a slingshot. And he's really good with a gun. So we could have slingshots too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what my weapon of choice would be. Maybe like a bludgeoning type object.
I could see that. A staff. What was that? How was that? If you were watching, she did this little sort of double karate chop move that I don't really understand, but it was adorable.
It was really popular when I was in high school, and it goes with a phrase that says, suck it. Sorry, Mom.
Oh, poor Mom.
She deals.
She's doing well, I think.
I think she handles it just fine, but she does not like F-bombs.
Sorry.
Sorry, Mom. Sorry.
I dropped a couple.
I don't remember if I've said any today.
Oh, I know.
I've said asshole a lot, though.
That's all right. It was fitting.
I think I've began to retract the F-bombs a bit. Like, not with a lot of effort. Like, it just kind of stopped. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Maybe I've said it. Doesn't matter. I'm not trying to censor myself. I'm
Depends
not,
on the mood.
Not saying to speak like a sailor or anything, but
I can. And sometimes I think that word is very, it can be used in so many ways.
Do you call it cursing or cussing?
We said cussing in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But I've recently referred to it as cursing.
I've always said cussing, and I remember somebody referring to it as cursing, and in my brain, I judged them for that, and that's not fair. I'm not saying that's right.
She admits it.
But I thought that to me, they sounded really sheltered.
Really sheltered?
Yeah. How weird is that?
Sounds a little hoity-toity to me. That's how I would take
I
it.
have standards. No, but it was that one guy I dated that was long distance.
Is this the one you're never going to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I didn't really, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He said cursing, and I was like, ew.
Yeah, hoity-toity.
Curse.
I was right on that one.
Cuss.
Get down and dirty with it. We've had an interesting conversation already, haven't we?
I feel like this is a more realistic example of how you and I are when there's none of this around. No cameras, no microphones.
This is a full-on Bridget and
way
Marshelle kind
more
of conversation.
Organically us.
It totally is.
I was like, what were we saying? Oh, well, it'll come back to us.
Oh,
if it's important,
whatever.
it'll come back to us.
What do you think about the zombie apocalypse?
By the way, I do think about the apocalypse quite often.
I do too, actually.
And I think it's interesting to bring it back to the coronavirus that a lot of people are like, do we need to prepare? Because there was this, do you remember hearing about the flu in 1918? Where it killed a massive amount of the population.
Was that the Spanish flu?
I believe so. Now, granted, sorry, I'm grabbing something out of a plastic bag. If you hear that, I apologize. A lot of why it spread was because we were in the middle of war. And so there was all these troops that were being ushered in to these locations every couple of days. And then they would then catch the flu that had already been there. And then it would spread really quickly. And then people were dying. And it was like they were all turning blue because their lungs were filling with fluid. And then there just wasn't enough medical care. And I think that's, I'm totally going back to the virus again. But that's what a lot of the concern is that there would be way too many people sick in order for the medical facilities to deal with it all at one time, and that by people sequestering themselves or whatnot or being really careful to not get sick, it could slow down the progress of everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that
I would like, I haven't ever addressed this on here. I'm a bit of a germaphobe, and you know that. She's chewing, by the way, so she's probably not going to be talking. She's eating a date.
I'm a fast eater.
Oh,
I just needed a quick snack.
I'm impressed. And I am not freaking out. And I'm kind of proud of myself for not freaking out. I mean, I'm the one that has hand sanitizer, a small little one, in my purse, and I use it all the time. Like all
Who's
the time.
to say we haven't actually already had it? This is the thing.
Because we had that flu that just would not go away.
We were sick, but the statistics are based off of like proven cases of people who've had this flu, and the death rate for that is like really high. Like if you look at the percentage, the death rate for this virus is way higher than the flu For people,
Yeah.
it's like somewhere between 1.5% or like 3.5%. Whereas the flu is something like 0.1%. So it's a significant chunk of people when you're looking at thousands.
I think it's legit. I think it's something to be cautious of. I think just wash your hands, though. Like I said, don't be all caught in the fear mongering of everything, because I think there's a lot of that.
And if you don't already have like maybe some food storage, see the thing about having some food storage and some goods and paper products, like, because they're saying there's been a run on toilet paper, for example. But
Which, you know what? That makes sense.
the idea is like, if you're really sick and you're not going to go out into public because you shouldn't, if you think you might have this virus,
stay home.
You're going to be
home.
sequestered at home for maybe weeks on end, or if you're really trying to avoid getting it, whatnot. Anyway, it'll be very interesting seeing how all this unfolds.
Oof, won't it though?
In the first,
And we've got the election stuff going on, which I don't want to get into. And what I do want to say about that, though, it's interesting because it's coronavirus, the elections. You know, who are they going to go for? All this negativity. All I think it really matters, guys, is can't we just have someone authentic who actually cares about the nation and not money, and about people and about healthcare and about the environment? Is it that hard?
apparently so, because there's so much money involved.
I like that's what needs to stop, is that this money having the say, the top 3% having the say over the entire United States. You know what I mean? I really do have a problem with hunger in America, American children starving. I have a problem with that. We're supposed to be one of the richest nations in the world. And we're not taking care of our own. I really do have a problem with that. That's all I'm gonna say. But like that God, you know, and stop destroying our parks. You know, I mean, stop hurting old people and the middle class and the poor. Like, care for the people you supposedly represent. That's all I have to say.
All right.
Now I feel better now. By God.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Get it out. Just get it
to
all out.
Back to the zombie apocalypse. Seeds. You need seeds. That's
Whoa.
another thing.
She went there.
Yeah, that's.
But you don't need a stockpile, but maybe just prepare a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
You guys, I'm really not kidding. I really am one of those people that wants to have a bunker in my backyard. I wish I had
love that.
some
I
tunnel
would
to
love
my
it.
dad's, because I'll tell you what.
That would be a long ass tunnel.
Wouldn't it though? But if shit hits the fan, I'd want to be at my dad's. I will tell
Yeah.
you that. You've met my dad.
Yeah.
Like, it would be. He was a sergeant in the Army. He is a tough, smart guy.
Can't say tough cookie, can you? That's for chicks. What can you say for a dude? He's a tough mofo.
He is a tough mofo. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that, man.
Tell you
I just
what.
keep saying that.
Tell you what.
It's all I'm. What is that? I think that's an Oklahoma expression. I'll tell you that.
I keep getting asked by strangers if I'm from the Midwest because of things I say. And it's not always really obvious what I say that makes them ask that, but
It's
like
probably expressions.
that's what I'm saying. Like I said, oh, scooch over. Let me scooch.
I say that all
Scooch
the
is
time. Maybe it's because you hang out with me. I don't know.
I've always said scooch.
Oh, we'll see.
Scoochy scooch.
You know, speaking of, I grew up, and I just saw this thing on a show on the Smithsonian where they were saying Oklahoma and Missouri and Texas used to be considered part of the South, along with what is traditionally known as the South. You know, like you go through that. And nowadays, like, they kind of take Missouri out of that, and Oklahoma's not necessarily considered that. They call that more the Midwest.
You can take the Missouri out of the South, but you can't take the South out of the Missouri.
And you know what? That's really true. And even though she's kidding, it's true.
Not exactly.
I would say.
Just wasn't sure I could get the words out.
Well, you did well.
Thank you.
But growing up, and I know we all thought we were Southern. We would think of it, but it's more of a cowboy Southern. You know, it's not that batting your eyelashes and getting what you want.
little old Southern belle.
Yeah, no. In Oklahoma and Texas too, but I know for sure Oklahoma.
Isn't it more of a culture than a territory?
It's learning to shoot guns and be from the hip. That's what I would say. Yeah, I think it is more of a culture.
Yeah.
I was just finishing my
So
thought.
and therefore, I'm also South. No, just kidding. I'm not at all.
You're from Washington State, right?
Yeah. I'm hard to pin down for people. They're like, you're really nice. Are you from the Midwest? And I'm like, I'm not that nice.
No, yeah, exactly.
Not meaning not that nice, Midwest nice, but just in general, like your
Yeah.
perception of me is not as dimensional as
No.
this indicating me.
I'm the same. People would,
lot.
you've heard me say this a million times. People would always be like, "Oh, she's so nice," talking about me, and I'm like, I'm not that fucking nice. I mean, like, I'm nice, but I ain't that fucking nice. I'm not. Don't cross me.
I don't know if people have always said any particular thing about me. Maybe she's weird. Maybe that. I don't know.
You are nice. I would
Thank
say we
you.
both. I would say that we operate coming from that place in the world originally. You know, like we would rather be kind and loving.
We're kind, but we
then-
take no shit.
But we take no shit.
Yeah.
I would say that's on brand with you. I'm making fun of that word for who we are, though, and that's kind of how our approach towards all of this is like, you know, peace, love, and light. But you know, I was like, oh, peace.
I mostly love and light and a little go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
You
I
got
mean,
me to say the
that's-
F bomb.
I
That was
know
a
it.
trick. That was it. Sorry, Mom. She tricked me.
I did not.
You tricked me.
But it's very true. It's a no bullshit policy. I think that's kind of important in life.
You've picked up and set down that coffee mug so many times.
I haven't.
Give this girl a drink of coffee. Sorry, if you're watching us on YouTube, you would see that Marshelle was tentatively going to take a drink of coffee and kept.
Well, because I was talking and then I didn't want to take a
know.
sip. It's my red mug, if you're looking. It's,
Yeah, what do you have today?
It's Handsome Devil. It's actually my husband's mug, but I liked the red.
Mine is kind of like almost like a salmon tone. There's like a little peachiness to it.
Some pattern.
Maybe not orange enough for salmon, but
Well, see, my color tint's a little off, so to me that's slightly red. My reds and oranges are mixed up, and my blues and greens are mixed up. Kid you not. Isn't that funny?
I wouldn't say it's funny because I wouldn't want to be perceived that I'm making fun of you for your disability.
Thank you. See how
I'm
nice
not,
she is.
I'm
See
not
how
a
nice she
colorist.
is?
That's what I say when people are like, "What's your favorite color?" I'm like, "I'm not a colorist." I don't.
That took a level for me to figure that one out.
That's where like most of my jokes fail. I'm not trying to say I'm so clever. It's just they're that dumb.
That reminds me of like when you're having a conversation with someone and then you think of after the conversation of what you could have said that would be funny or a retort. And
Yeah.
then it just drives you nuts for like the next hour. You know, you're like, God, I could have, like I wanted to say that. Can I text him?
I feel like I'm at a point where those things are just said nowadays for me.
Oh, for sure.
I think they just happen. The retorts are just, they're out before I can catch them.
I like that about you.
It's,
Gonna say.
now I'm shoot from the hip. Yeah. There was a question I was going to ask.
No.
Well, it wasn't exactly a question for you anyway. It was for the men listeners.
Okay, what is it?
Well, the thing is, I don't remember. So as soon as the words started falling out of my mouth, I was like, stop, stop, stop.
Whole 30.
We're gonna make you never want to try Whole 30. But like this phase is temporary
Yeah. It seems
because
to be
it's
going
like
on
you're
for a
kind
while.
of detoxing from like sugar and bread and wheat.
all the
and-
crap
Yeah.
that your cells are hanging on to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say sugar is pretty.
Sugar's a bitch,
naughty.
man. And you're puffy. It's crazy. It takes a while. It takes me 2 months to really get the benefits. I'm always like about 3 weeks behind where you're supposed to be on the scale of what you can look for with the Whole 30. But it's honestly, guys, I really love it. It's really not that hard. It's really beneficial. I would highly recommend it.
My mom and I are doing it together right now. Well, obviously we're doing it together, but my mom's staying with me, so we're doing meals together. And she's like, "This is a lot of cooking.
It's a lot of cooking.
Yeah, it's gotta become a hobby. Cooking has to become something that you enjoy doing." I was like, "This is how we're gonna spend a lot of our time together is cooking together."
And it's actually enjoyable. You
Yeah,
can also
I
though
like
keep it like on those days when I don't feel like doing it, I'll just make like a turkey burger that's already prepared. You know, like you get those frozen turkey burgers. Turkey burger, saute some spinach, and maybe I'll make some, put in some potatoes really quick.
Yeah.
Bake some fries,
A lot of times my go-to will be like I try to keep fresh produce in the
Or an
the
apple.
fridge, but I'll also get some frozen stuff just so I'm always prepared for those moments. And it'll usually be like some green beans, some mushrooms, and some broccoli. And then I'll make like a protein patty. Not a protein patty, but like
a patty,
a patty
like what
of
I
some
said.
kind of meat.
some sort of burger type thing.
I
like
was
talked about.
and I was vegetarian for so long, but you guys, it was not working well for me. And I was starting to have an allergic reaction to beans because I was eating them too often. And I've done this with other foods. Do you?
Yeah.
Have you ever done that where
I
you just
totally
are
like
only
that.
eating the same thing and you don't get sick of it, and then your body's like, "Oh, hey, we can't have this anymore."
Yeah.
Because you're gonna break out in a rash.
Hello. Yeah.
So,
Hey, you.
hey, human, you're failing at feeding yourself.
It was for me. It was grilled cheese. I loved grilled cheese.
Oh my god.
Can't
I
have
still
it
do.
now. I know. I do too. I could eat it every
You
day.
know,
I
after-
could eat pizza every day. It's a terrible thing.
Did I tell you? I had a slice of pizza
When
when I went to Costco with my mom.
you get the Costco pizza,
Got a slice of Costco pizza.
it's so good.
So I was like, okay, and now tomorrow it's going to be restart. But I needed something, and I kind of already knew. It was
Do you,
like,
do you know what's really good there that I'd never had before?
What?
That I had before? You guys.
What?
Costco frozen yogurt.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just ask them to put that chocolate syrup on it.
Oh, so good.
I can't.
I can't even.
It's like, and it's so cheap. It's like $2 as opposed to going to it's one of those frozen yogurt places
Yeah.
and it's like $10 to get like.
Also, though, Costco was a madhouse.
Because of the coronavirus.
And because
it
we
all
went
comes
on
back
a
to that.
Sunday.
Oh yeah.
It took us over 10 minutes to find a parking spot. It was so competitive
It's better to go.
that you literally can only get one if you stalk a person with their
Yeah.
cart and you follow them.
What time of day did you go?
It was right after I picked my mom up from the airport, so it was probably around noon.
Ooh, I'm surprised it was that. We usually go like an hour before they close because there's less people. It does work out, or even a half hour before they close if we know what we want.
The lines were all so long they were going back into the aisles.
Yeah, I've never
It
seen
was
it be
insane.
that bad. Wow.
And my mom's like, "Do you think you're going to get a Costco membership?" And I was like, "Why would I ever be able to talk myself into going to Costco if this
So-
is my
You go in
experience?"
there for 4 things and you come out of there with $400 worth of stuff. Oh my god, this is so true. But it's great for like stockpiling on certain
Well,
things.
and I will admit, we did end up getting a big thing of toilet paper.
yeah,
And it was like the last one, and there was all these people surrounding, and it was like people were, you see those videos of like Black Friday, how
Yeah.
people go crazy.
Yeah.
It felt like people were just about on the verge of that.
yeah, people are starting to freak out.
Yeah.
You talked about Black Friday. I have to tell this story just for a second. It was Thanksgiving back in Oklahoma. We're all grown up pretty much. My brothers wanted to go do Black Friday. They were so excited about this. They had a list. They were very strategic about all of this. They got up really early. We're like, "Go to it. More power to you. Get me a DVD recorder though, or like whatever it was, DVD player." And my brothers, when they came back, they looked so frazzled and so like. And I can't remember if it was Duke or my brother Tim. They were like, "This little old lady literally pushed me out of the way to grab the DVD player."
Oh my God.
Like, it was so.
I won't
couldn't
do it.
believe it. It was so funny.
I won't even do it. I will not shop on Black Friday. I won't do it.
This TV right here, you guys
Yeah.
can't see it, but there's a TV on the wall
Yep.
in this room. It's really nice. It's the first TV Tommy and I
Shout
bought.
out to Tommy Black for mounting that.
Didn't he
He
do
made
it
it
really?
look really easy.
He's handy.
He's handy.
He is surprisingly, very handy.
I'm just kidding. It's not that. It doesn't
No.
surprise me though.
But no, but like I kind of expect it. Like he
Yeah.
can do just about anything. He could probably build a house.
Compared to the average person,
Yeah.
he's way more handy. So in that regard, you're like surprisingly handy.
and he's a little bit of a tech nerd. It's funny.
He's a
He's
total
he's a
tech
total
nerd.
tech nerd.
I'm sorry to blast the
No, but
mic
he
there,
is.
but he's a total
And
tech
he's a
nerd.
musician, so it's like it's so funny. He's like all these things. You're
Yeah.
like, how does this all compute? You
I
know?
get it.
But the TV. Back to the TV. That was the first TV we bought together. We split it. We were so proud. But we went on Black Friday.
Yeah.
And we weren't going to go. We had made the decision. We are not going to go. We're not going to go the night before. He woke up really early and he's like, "Do you want to go? Do you want to
Oh
go?"
my God, you impulse.
So we totally
Black
went.
Friday'd.
And so we were in Best Buy stalking, walking around, like scoping all these things out. We got a couple of things. I think we got PlayStation or something like that too. But we got
Yeah.
a couple other things. I can't remember because this was a few years ago. This was like 4 years ago. And but we found this TV hidden in the refrigerator section. And this is the TV we'd been looking for. It was the exact reason we went because he saw it on an ad. It was only like
It was fake. It was meant
You know,
to be.
it was sort of like it was a really good deal, and we were both like, "What? We gotta go! We gotta go!" So so we found it, in between a couple of refrigerators. And so he's like, Marshelle. And so he got it.
Oh my God.
But he was so excited.
What a bonding moment for you too.
It was. And then we went to the donut. What's that donut place that's so delicious?
Krispy Kreme?
Krispy Kreme.
I don't know that I've ever had a Krispy Kreme donut.
God, I wish we were. When we're not doing the whole 30, one off day, I'm going to take you to Krispy Kreme.
All right.
And now we'll either hate it because it's going to taste so sugary.
Yeah.
We were eating carrots the other day. I don't know if I talked about this last time or
No.
not. And it was like, and they tasted, we were just,
oh my God, these are so sweet.
these are so sweet. And then I laughed and I started to realize, you're on the whole 30 when baby carrots taste really sweet to you. You're like, man, these are so satisfying.
It's something my dad's vegan and he doesn't eat anything added fat, like no oil or anything either.
More power to you.
Yeah, he did it. It's specifically for his heart. He reversed his heart disease doing this. So I'm like, hey, that's awesome.
Food is medicine.
But one thing he's always talking about is how much flavor are in things and how even
it's true.
Spinach and kale taste salty to him because he can taste the sodium in them because he's also low sodium. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I agree with that. I've noticed that Tommy, because I kind of have him. I've just realized I was off the mic again. Sorry. I kind of have him sort of whole 30-ish, but he's definitely eating healthy. But he was like, man, you just taste all the. She's just threw another date in her mouth. But you can taste all of the flavors, and it just tastes so satisfying. I used to be a raw foodist, which you probably would say you eat raw food, but I always say raw foodist for my health back.
Well, when
in the
you
day.
say it like that, it sounds like a religion.
It does, doesn't it? Bowing down.
It's like a political statement.
Somehow you got me out of that cult. But man, that was intense eating raw foods. It was really good though. It helped. I have a sluggish lymph system and I have a little bit of a heart thing. It's all kind of tied together. But I was just eating too much. I was too acidic, and I was just eating too much crap, and it was just too much. Is the best way to put it. So I went to this nutritionist who was amazing, and she got me into this. You got to try this, and so we got me a little more alkaline. So I had to eat like that for a while, and then I was vegetarian, and then I went into macrobiotics, and then my body started craving protein. You know, from like that sort of a source. And so I'm always very good about, and you are too, like where it comes from. You know, that sort of a thing. Yeah,
I did the vegetarian thing for over 20 years, so I totally appreciate that way of eating. It's just not...
Oh, yeah, exactly. I can't do it.
It's difficult when you can't have beans or nuts, and there's certain foods I can't have that's a big part of that diet. So,
yeah.
And you as much as we can supplement certain things, I just was tired of feeling so ill all the time, and so...
Yeah, and lethargic, and I
and
remember.
so it was like the whole 30 was really what... doing it last year, that's what really helped me turn it around. I started it in November of 2019.
Yeah, I saw some
did
pictures
it for like
of
a
us.
couple months.
I saw some pictures of us back.
We've already slimmed down a bit. I don't know if you guys can tell if you look at our videos from like if you ever watch our videos and not just listen to the podcast, if you can tell that we've kind of started to slim down at all.
Yeah, which is why I got the microcurrent and all that.
Oh yeah, so
face.
episode 7, we talked. 8. Yeah, this is 9.
This is 9. Yeah,
episode 8, we talked about Marshelle having ordered these facial tools for rejuvenation.
To lift and separate the face, basically.
Lift and separate the face? You're basically describing what people want to do to their breasts.
Yeah, exactly. I just like
and
that
applying
expression.
it to your face.
I just like that expression.
Lift and separate.
And separate.
Or your booty. I can see people also wanting to do that with the booty a little bit.
Yeah, you know.
I'm thinking about this too hard. Anyway.
But it's working. That's
so
what she's
I'm curious.
At. Yeah,
what your experience has been like.
I've only used them like 3 times now, and it definitely feels tighter.
Yeah,
it is tighter, and I always do like facial massage a little bit just because of the lymphs, and it does kind of remind the muscles of where they need to go.
Yeah,
and it does. That always kind of makes the face look a little more sculpted. I can tell. That's how bad I am. I don't know. I can tell when I go back and watch these episodes. Didn't massage my face. You know what I mean? Because I always think my face is falling. That's, if you know me at all, that's like, is my face falling? Is my face falling? That's like a thing that I say about pictures or just in general. But it's definitely
body dysmorphia.
But I say it in humor, you guys. I'm not that neurotic.
In this modern landscape, I'm so hyper aware that everything
know.
I say that could be misconstrued is not an asshole. I promise. I'm
don't
teasing. I'm not making jokes about body dysmorphia.
No, we're making fun of
Somebody who
each other.
suffered from such a affliction, I promise I'm not making fun of anybody who's dealing with that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
and I've been obsessive, so we're not.
she can be obsessive. It's true. As can I. I mean,
It's because we've done these things or we've had these issues that we feel we can say things like that. So there
and
you
we've
go.
also worked in the entertainment industry, and
For a
you
long
will
time.
have people on your team or maybe on set or whatever. People will be very blunt with you if they think you need to lose weight or they think you need to do your makeup differently or they think your hair needs more dimension. You need to go get highlights. That was one that happened to me. Like
Yeah,
it's
they don't give a shit.
no,
They don't
they're
give a
not
shit.
precious about it.
They'll tell you, yeah, like your hips. I can't. You. What is this? Your
Or
stomach.
like a producer will go up to the wardrobe person and be like, "Why isn't she in the other dress that we liked better?" It's like,
yeah.
And I said, that dress is a size 2 and I'm a size 6 and the zipper's on the side.
Oh God.
So if it was in the back, maybe we could sew it onto me, but I can't physically move in a dress that doesn't close.
So what did they say?
They let me wear the dress I was in. But I mean, I was at a point, this was in 2013. So I was at a point where I wasn't so sensitive to the criticism about my body, but I was also actively dieting and trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
But shit, I mean, it sucks to not be a size 2 in LA if you're an actor.
No,
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
It doesn't suck. It does, but it doesn't.
does a little bit. I have a story. I was shooting DTLA. We'd already discussed that I was too thin. Even told. Okay, this has been established. All right.
So you had the opposite problem.
Yeah, so
you're too thin. I was not thin enough.
Well, for my face basically, because
Yeah.
I was starting to get this because I have a broader face, so you got to be careful, I guess. And then a whole other conundrum of issues with that. But we got this new stylist. I had to go in, try on these wardrobe things. First of all, he wanted me to look like Jessica. What's her name from Sex and the City? I never watched that show. Not Jessica. Was it? Yeah, Jessica Sarah Parker. Yeah. Which was not my character. So that was interesting. Had to fight. I was like, okay, look, this is when I had that cold. I've talked about this. And I was like, okay, now look, I'm on this cold medication. So my stomach will get really bloated from cold medication, but I had to take something. I mean, I'll look like 4 months pregnant. You know what I mean? Like there'll be like a little bit of, it's because I've had a kid. So my stomach will, at least in my experience, that's what it will do. So I told him, I'm like, now look, don't give me shit about this because I'll cry. I'm like, all right, I know that it's puffy. I know that it's temporary. And, I went through this whole thing. He's like, oh yeah, I would never do that. I get it. This is on the phone. Then I go in for this fitting. He's having me try on all this weird shit that just looked utterly ridiculous. We had to send pictures to Larry, the director and the creator of the show. And I remember him texting me back, what the hell is this outfit? And I'm like, I know. So it was really, Marshelle.
At least you two were on the same page.
I know. He's like, don't let him make you wear that. Don't let him make you. I'm like, okay, I won't.
But you may need to weigh in on this one, Larry.
Yeah, exactly. And so, exactly. But I've got this outfit on and you can see it's like kind of a high-waisted pant kind of thing, if I remember correctly. And my stomach is a little bulbous. Mm-hmm. The guy he puts his hand on my stomach and starts doing this, like shaking it around.
Doesn't.
Yeah, he did. And he's
no,
like,
he fucking doesn't.
Yeah, he did. He starts kind of shaking it around and doing it. And he's like, what is this? What is this? What is this? What is this, Marshelle? What is this? And I was like, I couldn't even, and I was like, I told you I'm on cold medication. And I'm just like, I don't even remember what I said, but I told the rest of the guys on the set and they were like, what? It was so great.
Was this, not that it matters, but was this person dressing you straight?
Nope. Nope. He was very catty about it. And
that's because I feel like the catting, that's because I was like, where's this cattiness coming from?
Yeah, no, that's what. And you know what's interesting about that? And the guys on the show, a lot of them were gay. Some of them.
Well, the show was about.
It was really great. It was about. We had transsexuals, we had lesbians, we had gay. I mean, we had everything.
Absolutely.
And the whole bottom line to that was that at heart, we all want the same thing. We all want to be loved. We all want to be heard. We all want to be understood. And it was really beautiful in that way. I really do wish there'd been a season 2 because that would have been really cool to see where that have gone.
Who played your mom?
She was going, this is who they were talking. They were going to talk to, season 2, they were going to have my mom. They were talking about, Roseanne Barr. Mm-hmm. That was before all of that happened because Sandra Bernhardt and she were really good friends, and she
Yeah.
was on our show. And or we'd also kind of talked about maybe approaching Jacqueline Smith, like going
Yeah.
the other way. But you know what? Roseanne Barr, honestly, would have been great to play my mom. We had like this great idea for my parents and like my character's backstory and stuff. But
Man, is it too late for season 2?
who knows? You never
Who
know.
knows?
They could
You
come
never
back.
know with these things.
Yeah, it was a really, and the first seasons are always rough. They're still trying to find their way, and it was maybe a little too. It was ahead of its time in some ways, and he was trying to be very European with it,
With all the sex?
with a lot of sex. and we used to argue about that a little bit, and I loved Larry though because he'd be like, okay. All right. And he was like, and he had watched, in the off season, he had watched a lot of Downton Abbey, and he was like, okay, Marshelle, I see what you were talking about. He was like, because I was like, Rhett Butler carrying Scarlett O'Hara up the stairs. We need some mystery. I don't need to see.
You don't have to see penetration.
Yeah,
like,
I don't
not
need to
that they
see.
show that.
Yeah,
but
but
no, because that's porn.
yeah, because that's porn.
But it wasn't pornographic.
It was not pornographic.
But sex can be implied. It doesn't always have to be depicted.
Yeah, exactly. It can be like left to the imagination just a little bit.
A little bit.
And what was great, what I was going to say about that, I got on a tangent, was all the guys, and then I'm done talking about this, but all the guys, when I booked the role and we were all rehearsing and together, and they were like, okay, now look, I'm going to tell you, there's probably going to be a lot of drama on this show. And they were like, because, there's a lot of gays, they were like, but it was really cute how they said it. They were trying to like prep me, and I'm like, I'm okay.
Do they mean like drama behind the scenes?
Drama behind the scenes.
Amongst the actors.
Amongst the actors, because and there was a little drama. God love them, but then again, there wasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was, and that, who cares? I mean, that's creative.
I genuinely, I work with quite a few gay men, and I love it because
I do too.
I love having the getting to be around male energy, but not it not feeling at all complicated by like sexual attraction or somebody trying to get with the other person. Like it just there's like a purity to it.
There really
it's just
is.
it's a friendship, and I really enjoy male energy, and so it's
We're
nice
talking
to,
about guys and or relationships. So that's what we used to do.
Yeah,
on the
I don't
set.
have much to say about that right now, but
That's good. That's good though.
I had a couple guys that had messaged me months ago reach out the same day, ironically, and they were both like, "Are you alive?" Or this other one was like, "Okay, guess you're not ready."
Oh, really?
Well, I had put to meet up. I had put my profile on pause, but what I wasn't thinking about is that the messages, the people you've interacted with, you can still message with them. But I literally didn't even open the app to see his message. It was just an alert. I haven't opened the Hinge app in weeks.
You're not missing a thing. I figure when the
That's
time's
the
right.
thing. And
when
I'm
the
like,
time's right, you'll be drawn
I
to
don't
it.
owe this guy anything. Like I never. We've just had a couple words back and forth. There was never any plans made or anything. I mean, not being rude.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're done.
I think we're done.
We're so over
I was like,
this.
you guys, this is a true
Bye.
conversation. I was like, whoa, she's ready. All right.
No, but I mean, come on.
But we love you guys. Subscribe. Thanks for coming back, listening, watching. As
Hope
always.
you could follow where we went on this one. We were on a
I'm
tangent.
curious. I'm curious. This might just be. I'm curious.
Well, we have a few sections we probably will cut.
Probably. Well, this might be. What was I going to call those?
Rambling on.
The Ramblin' On episode.
But it's the truest to us.
Yeah, and it's fun, and it's a conversation, and hopefully you guys will feel like you're hanging out with us.
Yeah.
In the She Shed studio here.
We can talk more organized. We can. We're
can.
capable of
You've seen that, yes.
Yeah. We can be more topical, and we will be again in the future at times.
Yeah.
But this felt right.
This did. High five, guys.
All right. We'll see you around.
See you guys next Wednesday. Have a
everywhere
great
where
week.
we see you. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.